If Autodesk Fusion feels overwhelming, you're not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. In this series, we'll slow things down and focus only on the essentials. Today, we're setting up Fusion the right way, so everything that comes next actually makes sense. Let's get started. When Fusion first loads up, you'll come to a screen that looks very similar to this. What you'll want to do is just start a brand new project. So you can go over here to New, and it'll open up a brand new page for you, and you can get moving on things. Let's talk about a few things. Over here on the left side, this is called my data panel. The data panel is indicated up here. This looks like, to me, I call it the waffle. It's the hide data panel, so if I click it, it'll minimize the data panel. If I click it again, it'll bring the data panel back up. That's kind of a big deal because sometimes if we're working on a smaller screen, we need to maximize our screen real estate, right? But inside the data panel, that is where we go to find like our file structure. Typically what it will look like at the beginning, you're going to look something a bit more like this, where you have just your libraries and some samples that have been loaded in, okay? There will be a default folder up there as well. We'll talk about the file structure a little bit further down. For now, what I'm going to do is close this down, or I can click on that hide data panel. That's just a data panel toggle. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about the setup so that when we're in the video, we're talking about the same thing. So up here in the top right, there's an icon. Yours is probably going to have your initials there. I'm going to click there and I'm going to go to Preferences. Click your icon and then click Preferences. Your default screen right here, you want it to look just like mine. The default right down here where it says Y up currently. Yours probably says Z up. I use a Y up orientation. Just a little spoiler alert, that helps me when I get to my dimension drawings later. Now another thing I want to do before exiting, I want to go over here to the default units and I want to expand that. And I want to take a look at the design, and over here I am going to be using inches. So after we set those default units in our inches, we can go ahead and click Apply and click OK. So that should get us in the right orientation for a video. A couple of other things that are extremely important are just how to navigate the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load a part up for us real quick, just so we can activate some of these other little things we have going on. Over here on the left side, this is called the browser area. The other thing I wanted to bring up is down here at the bottom. This is called the timeline. This timeline tells us everything that happened in this part. Now, I want you to see something though. If we take a component that was done in this particular area, so this box, and we click this radio button beside it, do you see what happened to the timeline? I'll activate the whole thing at the top and see how everything shows back up. So that shows everything that happened in the assembly and even in the order it happened. And then if I go down here to just one little piece, it'll let me activate that component, unless it has a link. And a link, that means it was created separately. It wasn't created in this file. In other words, it was created and then someone drug it over into this assembly. So that's the timeline. This is the browser area. Up here at the top right corner, you have a few things. You have your view cube, okay? So there's a front view. If I click on that, I can use the arrows. I can even click on the corners to get those views. If I want more of a free rotate, I can actually come down here to the bottom. This is the orbit. I could click that in. Now click and hold, and I can rotate this around. Okay, so that gives me more of a free range than what the view cube can do. I want to get that back to my original orientation. So up here by the view cube, when I get close, this little house will come up. So I can click it and it'll put it right back to the way it was. Down here at the bottom, there's a look at tool. So I can click that in and click a flat side and it squares it up for me. The pan tool here, if I click that in and click and hold, that will allow me to move it on the screen. Let me home it again. So come up here, make sure you hit escape, because right now I'm still in pan mode. So once I press escape on the keyboard, I can come up here and click that home button. From time to time, you can get zoomed in and zoomed out way too far. I can come up here and click the home button and it'll put it right there in the middle of the screen again. A couple of things on the mouse itself. If I have a wheel in my mouse and I roll it, it'll zoom in and out for me. If I click and hold the wheel, that will allow me to pan as well. If I right click, it'll pull up more of a recent menu for me. That can change, and it does change periodically. It tries to keep the most recent commands in that. So one last thing, up here where it says design, I'm going to click that, and this is how we get to different workspaces. So design, animation, drawing, those are common ones that we would go to. Occasionally we'll go to a simulation. Depending on your teacher, you may go to render or even generative design. This concludes video 1, basic system setup.